Like new hood logic, this the new yarn, all right? New hood logic. For lack of a better term, I'm going to call this hood logic stay in your placism, all right? Remember, first and foremost, I'm talking here earthly success, earthly achievements, all right? This doesn't talk about the grand scheme of life. If you want to talk about the grand scheme of life, then the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If you're not a believer in that stuff, then you have no worries. Let's continue move along and take in this information, all right? When you're talking earthly success, when you hear all these people, you need to stay humble. You need to stay quiet. What these are soft terms that people are using to tell you to stay in your place, to tell you to shut up, to tell you to stop telling them about things that they haven't done and they can't do. I'm telling you, these are ways that they've disguised these words, all right? I'm going to tell you one thing. The world is full of people who will do anything to keep you humble, including your friends, including your best friends. They will do, and they will pray that you will be humbled. Believe me, you should be the last person, if not you're the only person in your life, in your existence, who doesn't humble yourself, who doesn't tell you you can't be the best in the world, who tells you to stay in your place, who tells you to shoot straight, not shoot up for the stars. When you're trying to do something, bruh, I'm telling you, and I've been through this too, all right? When I got off drugs, and I said to every cunt, I said, I ain't gonna be the fucking best fucking drug dealer, the richest criminal, the fucking sexiest cunt, the fucking muscliest cunt, have the best head. I said the best. I'm gonna be the best at this, the best at that. That was my motivation to get off drugs. Was I the richest criminal? Not even close. Was I the fucking biggest muscle? No, I wasn't. But that doesn't matter, because I'll tell you one thing, when you shoot for the top and you fall short, you end up higher than anyone else that shot at any other angle. And that's the truth. And what happened to me is I done that, and it got me off drugs. I'm like the only person I know that got off drugs. Why? Because I shot for the stars. I didn't stay humble. There was no stay in your placism in my mind. I was a god, and I treated myself as a god. And yeah, I felt short of the stars, of course. How many of us are going to reach the stars? But my bullet still dropped from a higher fucking angle than the rest of them, so I still ended up on top. You get me? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I'll tell you the next thing. See, with this here, like, that's how I come straight out of the gates. This is, I'm practicing what I'm preaching here. I come straight out the gates. I am the best rapper. I am the best rapper in this country. I am the funniest cunt. I am the sexiest cunt. I'm everything. I let all of yous tell me I'm not. You get me? You let the rest of the world tell you you're not, because look what it's got me, bro. Like, you know what I mean? If I was to stop here, I would say, yeah, great. I achieved a lot, but this ain't even begun, bro. You know why? Because I tell you, I'm the best at everything, and I truly believe it. If I was to say anything less, where the fuck would I end up? You got to remember, all these people are going to it's their job to keep you humble. They don't want to see you shine. This goes back to human nature. This goes back to the jungle. This goes back to a gorilla sitting in the, it's their job. They hate you because you're shining. Remember, let them keep you humble, all right? Even in ALJ, mums, even in ALJ, when I started doing MMA, I started getting into it. I love it. Like, I was doing kickboxing and grappling. You know what I used to say? I've done MMA for barely 6 months. I used to say, I'm going to smash John Jones. People say, do you reckon you'll smash this cunt? You'll smash that cunt? But I'm going to smash John Jones. Who the fuck you asking me about some gronk in the street? I'm going to smash John Jones. Watch me. Yeah, laugh, but watch me. Would I have been able to smash John Jones? Not even fucking close. That's a stupid thing to say, all right? But where did it get me? Ahead of anyone that I know. Do you understand? So this is what you don't keep yourself humble. Fuck this humble shit. In earthly, why do you think half of the richest companies are run by psychopaths? Huh? How do you think all the fucking most successful businessmen, why do you think all the cunts that rule the earth are psychopaths? Because they stayed humble, because they sat there and they go, oh, well, look, fucking yeah, I'm just lucky and a bit of hard work and just some dominoes fell my waist. No. You ask them why they're there. They say, because I'm fucking better than everyone else. Because they're fucking cats. I make the hard decisions. No one can do this. No one can do what I do. No one will run this business like I run this business. That's why I'm running this business. You tell them to your face. And I tell you what, never let feedback, not even from your friends, be a judgment of real life. I tell you one thing here. Think about this one. This applies to Instagram, applies to YouTube, applies to your real life, applies to your workplace, applies to everywhere you see. Minorities are always the loudest. Whether you're talking in the street, who do you think protests? Minorities with a point to prove. Do you see a majority protest? No. Who do you think protests? This is why you go to a comment section. Don't ever let yourself get swayed by a comment section. Who do you think talks the most? The minorities, all right? I'll tell you with my latest song, Hurus. likes to dislikes ratio. This applies. This might seem like you're talking about a song. I'm talking about human nature, the human mind here. All right, so this is the human mind. This is a YouTube internet application of the fucking human mind. It applies to everywhere in your life. And what I'm proving to you is to never let people's opinions be of any judgment of your success. So if you go to my latest song, Hurus, the likes to the dislikes, the ratio is about 10 likes to a dislike. So it's about 10 times the more likes. I don't know the numbers. Maybe it's like 5,000 likes, 500 dislikes, roughly something like that, 10 to 1. You go to the comment section, every comment is, this is the worst song ever made. So wait a minute. So for every 11 people that watch this, 10 like it, 1 dislike it, but every comment is about how this is the worst song ever made. What does that prove to you? That proves that somebody who has dislike, hatred, or anger or something, are 10 times more likely to comment. I said this a long time ago. When people like something, they're pretty silent about it. They simply like it, even if half the people that like stuff don't, you know what I mean? But anyway, that works both ways. Half the people who don't like it don't dislike it. So that evens itself out. So disregard that comment. But you know what I mean? Still, and the numbers show, like, and this applies to whole life, that someone who dislikes something is 10 times more likely. It's like, wait a minute, this is the worst song ever made. But it has 10, you get me? And this applies to everywhere and everyone. So like when you're out and doing something, why I'm saying this to you is the more you hear people say, you're doing this wrong, be humble, you're not this, you're not that, you will never do this, you will never do that. It is it's the definition of success. And you would have heard this a lot of other places. You may not have heard people break down with these numbers and actually show the ratio of how much more likely a hater is to talk than a liker, and how powerful hatred is and what it actually means. But you've heard it before. You've heard that before, is that the saying, more people that dislike you, haters, call them whatever, the better you're doing. We all know that saying. And this applies to your fucking whole life. Like, I'm just telling you straight, like, the things I have achieved, and hate it or love it, lad, like, bruh, like, I come from the fucking streets, a life of crime. I gave up crime. I was an institutionalized man. Now I'm an intelligent man who has a lot of fucking power, a lot of soft power in the world right now. I was a heroin addict, intravenous heroin addict, who, have a look at me. Have a look at me, lad. Hate it or love it. Like, yeah, oh, you got a spot on your thing, you got a gap in your tooth, or you got have a look at me, lad. Bro, I was shooting up since I was a little kid. Look what the rest of them look like. I don't fall into stay in your placism. You ask me, I am the best rapper in this country ever. And I'm not just saying it. I'm by far the best. I will be the best in the world. I'm the funniest. I'm the sexiest cunt on Instagram. Have a look at me, lad. My dad's better than your dad. You can never be anything like me. And this is the attitude you need. All right? Do not forget, I'm talking earthly success, earthly achievements. The first shall be last and the last shall be first, and that's always in my heart. And I'll be far behind a lot of yous in the kingdom of God. If you do not believe this, good for you. Life's easier for you. Let's continue with the video. But don't get those two things twisted, all right? I'm not trying to say that fucking, I'm like, you know, but I understand earthly success. Point being, when you do something, aim for the fucking top. Don't let your coach, I don't care what it is, don't go to footy and let your coach say, you got to try really hard to make I don't know about footy, so don't laugh at me, the B side. No, say, bro, I'm going to be in the state of origin. What are you training for? I'm training for the state of origin. I'm going to smash fucking Andrew Johns or who the fuck it is. Say, bro, relax, bro. You can barely fucking catch a ball. Say, all right, we'll see, cunt. And if you're training to smash Andrew Johns, believe me, after 2 years, you're going to smash Andrew Johns? No fucking way. But you're going to be better than your mates who aim for the B side. This is a universal application, all right? That's that hood logic I think is a very important hood logic. Never fall to stay in your places, and fuck that word humble. Humble, stay humble, stay humble. And if you don't stay humble, you see all the minority come out, I'm better than you, I'll bash you, my friend's better looking than you, you're like the worst rapper that's ever. And just know that these are great things, and these will always happen when you don't fall victim to stay in your placism. That's the new hood logic, lad.